So, good morning again to everyone. So, welcome to our class in ethics. Again, we're now in lesson 9, which is entitled The Universal Values. So, after a lesson on cultural relativism and after a discussion on the Filipino strength and weaknesses, so let us find out if there are universal values. So it has intended learning outcomes. First is to identify the universal values and explain why universal values are necessity for human. So activity. Read and answer the questions. Be honest, even if you are not. Be honest, even if others will not. Be honest, even if others cannot. He who walks honestly walks securely. By Abhishek Tiwari. Do you believe in the saying? So here's an analysis. So is honestly or truth telling considered a universal value? Why or why not? What are the possible consequences of dishonesty? So try to answer it using Google Word document attached in Google Classroom. So abstraction. Despite the claims of cultural relativism, the concept on the reality of universal values persists. Unsa din ang universal value? So in philosophy, it is something that has the same worth or value for all or almost all people. These are the things that we all deserve to have. So just like peace, freedom, social progress, equal rights, human dignity, love, truth, right conduct, non-violence. Those are the universal values that we all deserve as human or as people in this universe. So according to Plato, he thought that universal values is all about the value of virtues of temperance, courage, and wisdom. So when we say temperance, it is defined as showing or preventing, stopping, restraining in eating or drinking, especially avoiding alcohol. And according to Jesus Christ, it is preach the value of love, which brings patience, kindness, goodness, forgiveness, and compassion. Just like what Jesus Christ preached to his disciples about the goodness of God, the value of love for you and for others. Next is the Confucius. So he taught righteousness. When we say righteousness, it is about goodness, the virtue of being right or good to others. The human heartedness. So of course, we human has heart to everyone. Then the last one is the filial piety. So when we say filial piety, filial means relating to you as a son or daughter, concerning to a family or concerning to a parent or child relationship. Then PP is what we call the dutiful respect. So it is our dutiful respect as a child or as a daughter or son to your parents. So kung i-combine na sila, it is our attitude of obedience, devotion, and care towards our parents, elder family, ng katigulangan, family members that is the basis of individual moral conduct and social harmony. Okay, so are not these universal values as that is they remain values at all times and in all places? Ang kanibang mga universal values na abani despite sa panahon o sa kalagyo sa lugar? According to Plato, that universal values exist apart from the concrete world. Meaning to say, bisag naan niya siya sa mga kabukiran, sa mga lugar na wala dili-dali ma-access, universal values is always there. No? According also to Aristotle, he said that they exist embodied in the concrete individual as a common or essential characteristic. So ingon pa ni Aristotle nga naa gyud ni embodied na gyud ni sa isa ka individual ang universal values. It is one of our essential character as a person. Just like love. Ang love na gyud ni sa atoa. No matter what, ang gugma sa atong isig katao, sa atong family, sa atong self, it exists. It is embodied in ourselves. According also to Saint Thomas Aquinas, he agreed to them. But the universal values that does not exist apart from the individual. They exist as universal features individuated, instantiated in the individuals. Ingon pa ni Thomas, ni agree siya. Pero ni-exist niya sa individual, it's because part ni siya or part of our character, it's because kani siya naa na gyud ni siya instant na gyud ning universal value sa ating kaugalingon. Mapil ni nato kabaluta nga just like kanang di ta gusto og gubot, gusto tag malinawon, gusto tag hapsay, gusto ta makakaon, no, that's embodied to ourself as an individual. Instant na ni siya. Part of our instinct as an individual. Nga we need universal values to live peacefully, to have freedom. But of course, freedom does not mean absolute. So, kaya naman siya limitation, di ba? Kaya naman tayo rules and laws na exist. So in other words, the universals are abstracted common features from the individual. We cannot say that it because that person is ang pagtanaw nimo is isog siya, murag feeling nimo manhid siya, but deep inside it's because he or she is a human. A universal values is naa na gyud na sa iya. Bisan pag unsay na reflect sa iyahang unsay na reflect sa iyang appearance, it doesn't mean nga mao na gyud na siya. Means bisag stricta siya, of course kita bisag stricto ang pananaw sa uban sa ato, of course we have a heart. We have a kind heart to show love, affection to other person. Am I right? So universal values, it is the character of human person exists in the mind as an idea. So this is part of our character that okay, so again, the universal values is the character of a human person exists in the mind as an idea. So, say for example, in love, sa gugma, so this is the best example kay makarelate ra mo. So, usually, maka-crush mo kita, no? Crush, dito gana, puppy love, no? Unintentionally, atong kuhan is purpose is kanang crush lang, marag gugma lang na marag was buot, no? And that comes in our mind and it exists in our mind nga crush na to sila. But later on, as times goes by nga murag kanang bitong murag ma-develop ka na the result is kanang mahimo na siyang gugma, no? Certainly your crush will become your ultimate love. And it comes in your mind as an idea nga crush nimo siya but later on nga sige siya og duol-duol nimo, so nahimo na siyang gugma kay na-develop na ka. Yeah. Another one is it is an immaterial and immutable. So universal values is this is intangible, cannot be touched, no, and it's not capable to change. And beyond space and time or spatio-temporal condition. No, no matter unsa pa na panahon or oras, no, universal values is dili na siya dali-dali mawala sa atoa. It's engraved in our mind and heart. No, it is nanagud ni siya sa ato as a human, as an individual. According to Van Pursen, he termed universal values as logical structure. So when we say logical structure, it is refers to the way the information in a document is organized. It is an organization of our values throughout our mind, underlying the material world and making the world possible. Just like what makes the world peaceful is kung ang uban tao lang is kanang bitaw magkahiusa, magkasinabdanay, no? It would be possible nga nagay peace. Migulan just love. No? Love, love, love. Ino pa ni peace. That's make the world peaceful at all. Kung nalang yung love, tanan. Okay, so moral standard and values. No? So the values of honesty and respect for human life are characteristic individuated in all people who respect, do not harm, injure, or kill human being. No? Sometimes as a human, ako as a mom is, since na naman ko yung mga anak, of course, I always ensure that my kids are, kabalo mo respeto sa iyang isig katao. Also to us as we are already adult, mature, no, dapat we also value and respect human life because we are bounded with because universal values are bounded in our life, no, because if we are matured enough, we of course we tend to respect people, especially those elders, our parents. We do not want to harm anyone, kill anyone, because all of us deserve a life. Kinahanglan need ta magpakabuhi. Dili ta entitled to we are not entitled to kill anyone, to harm anyone. Part of our moral is to respect and value human life. Then all the standards and values are implied in the Ten Commandments can be reduced to the value or rule of life. So it was given by Jesus Christ. No? The standard and values that we should follow is implied or along with the Ten Commandments of God. Then values are universalized because they can only be wished to be values. Just like those people nga who live in a country nga gubot. They also praying tana mo end na ang war, mo end na ang conflict. No, that's why we are very thankful here in the Philippines na dili siya gubot kaayo. Not like on the other mga Arabic country nga gubot, daghan og conflict, may war, no? And we always thankful nga bisag inaani ang atong government, dili siya imong nagubot. How I wish na unta na mag-end na pod ang mga conflict, mga gubot, mga war sa other part of the world. Especially itong mga nasa um, Arabic content. We all know hugot gid sila. So according to Dr. Ken M. Kitt, he has an empirical findings on the universal values. So empirical mo na ilang mga observation or experience. So he came up with a list of fundamental or universal moral principles that can be found throughout the world. So these are grouped into negative and positive statements as follows. According to Dr. Kit, so do not harm. Maunay positive. Do not harm or do no harm, then do good. So when we say do not harm or do no harm, it means do not do to others what would you not like them to do to you. Ayaw buhata sa imong isig ka tao ang dili nimo gusto buhaton sa isig ka tao nimo. Do not lie. Do not steal. Do not cheat. Do not falsely accuse others. Do not commit adultery. Do not commit incest. Do not physically or verbally abuse others. Do not murder. Do not destroy the natural environment upon which all life depends. It's all about our nature. And those are bounded and implied in the Ten Commandments of God. Diba? Do good. So, do to others what would you like them to do to you. Buhaton nimo sa imong isig ka tao ang gusto nila buhaton sa imo. So, be honest and fair. Be generous. Be faithful to your family and friends. Take care of your children when they are young. Take care of your parents when they are old. Take care of those who cannot take care of themselves. Be kind to strangers. Respect all life. Protect the natural environment upon which all life depends. So, ang atong kinabuhi, wala lang nag-depend kung unsa tong words nga gihatag or commandments of God. But he also implied that we should take care of our environment. Atong kinaiyahan, our mother, because we all know that part of us, diha nag-depend ng atong kinabuhi. Source of our food, resources, and all. Diba? So, if nakadumdum pa mo sa saying in the um, first paragraph, no? First slide, katong about honesty. So, try to answer those questions or analysis that has been given in the first slide. So, kani wala ni siya labot. So, be inspired. So, some values must be universal like human rights and the equal worth of every human being. That's why exist dyan na ang Human Rights Commission, Commission of Human Rights, just to protect the rights of individuals who have been exploited and abused by those mga tao nga walay mga huangod, walay mga heart towards humanity. So that's the end for lesson 9. And also that's the end of the chapter 1. So later, we will going to tackle the next preceding lessons in chapter 2. So thank you everyone. Have a great day and be safe.